So the only way to actually work in media to find any resemblance of success is to either be born to a rich family, so you can say you are employed by doing a minor background stuff, or be a nepo baby, someone who already knows someone inside, someone who already has someone inside who vouches for you. That's how you get stuff done. And I keep coming back to this. Whenever I lie in bed, or I'm sick, or I scroll, and you know how it is. I have been thinking about it for a while, and I really have been thinking about it for a while. Because of this system, so many talented people, so many writers, so many artists, including my friends, they never get a chance. They never get a foot in the door. Instead, you get the nepo babies getting all the work. And more often than not, these nepo babies are mediocre at their job at best. Look, I'm not saying every single person who gets through connections is bad. That's There are talent people who know people. That happens. That's real. I am one of them. Although I don't have the connections, my friends are not high in, but when you're high in, that's gonna happen. The pattern is what I'm talking about. Because these Nepo babies, they lack the hunger, the actual craving, the actual love to do it. They don't love writing. They love what being a writer gets them. The invitations, the validations, the ability to stand in a room full of other privileged people and say, "Oh, I'm working on this thing." When you actually look at their work, it's thin, it's hollow, it's surface level because they have never had to struggle. They have never had to work a job they hated while writing at 2 a.m. They have never had to sacrifice. They have never had to fail. And when faced with the trial of putting their own work out there, they fail. They continue to do it. So, what do? What's the easy way out? It's much easier to be a producer or a screenwriter because that way you can take, oh, excuse me, buy others' good work and make it yours. You get the good name in your bubble without having to create anything yourself. Either that, or you adapt an established writer's work and just make your own version of it. Sorry, I mean adapt it. And this isn't new. This has been going on for decades, but it's gotten worse because the industry is now so risk averse that they only want things that already have a fan base. So they buy up existing IP. They hire writers who have the right connections and they change everything, all in the name of adaptation. Even someone like George RR Martin, even someone as successful as him, they will take his work, they will change it. They will say it's an adaptation. And when he speaks out, he gets attacked and he gets told, "Ugh, he doesn't understand television. He's hard. He doesn't understand how we need to change things." And then on top of that, he will be told, "Oh, he's just being difficult." He gets told that he should be grateful. I applaud George for speaking out because it's so normalized that most writers would fear speaking out. They would defend the changes to secure their positions. They would keep their mouths shut to stay in the room. Here's the thing that really gets me: double standards. The thing that nobody wants to talk about. Think about Toriyama. Think about Dragon Ball. How they butchered it in live action with Dragon Ball Evolution. Because his work was influential enough for Hollywood to salivate over, but not influential enough to earn their respect. Toriyama, by all accounts, warned them directly. He told them Dragon Ball Evolution was wrong, told them all the characters were miscast, told them all the tone was off, told them it wasn't Dragon Ball. They ignored him completely because they respected his IP. But they didn't respect him. They respected the money his name could make, but they didn't respect the man who did it. It doesn't exist just in isolation. It's baked into the bigger machine, the machine run by producers who don't care about art, only about safety, which brings me to the very systematic problem. Now, let's be fair. Some stuff can't be excused. Some stuff makes sense. When House of the Dragon gets adapted from a history book of George's main book, sure, there's room for interpretation, there's room for creativity, there's room for the writers to fill in the gaps. But some decisions have to make you raise an eyebrow because it's clearly a writer taking someone else's work for themselves, someone who doesn't love the material, someone who just wants to put their stamp on something. But the bigger system problem, the real system problem, is the producers and the executives. These guys love to meddle. They love to get involved. They love to put their stamp on things. If you get lucky enough to get in and make something, you will have someone over your head, someone looking over your shoulder, someone telling you what to do, someone changing your work because their job description is basically to make sure the studio gets its money back and more. And here's the issue, especially nowadays, more than 20 years ago. These producers are usually not from filmmaking backgrounds, not from writing backgrounds, not like they used to be. To be specific, in the 70s and 80s, producers, they gave us the xenomorph as we like it. They cut off all the overdone stuff to make it palatable, to make it as we like it. The Land Before Time also, same thing. It, it was supposed to be even more sad. What we got was just enough for it to work. Thank God, thanks to producers. They meddled, yeah, but they meddled with taste. They meddled with knowledge. They knew what worked and what didn't. 2020's producers now, they are Silicon Valley guys who got promoted because they could read engagement metrics. They don't know what lens flare is. They don't know why 3-act structure works. They just know if the algorithms say something popular, they want this thing. They don't care about the art. They care about engagement. Filmmaking knowledge is out of the window. It's about one thing. And will we get it on social media? It turned from, is this safe enough for the audience to, oh no, this needs to be super safe. This is what made A24 and Neon get big, because the suits in there, they are actual filmmakers. They understand the craft. They understand the risk necessary. That risk is good. That risk is how you make everything. At least for now. A24 and Neon are not perfect. A24 is valued at $3 billion. They have deep Wall Street pockets. Josh Kushner sits on their board, and he's a major OpenAI investor, which explains stuff like this. So don't romanticize them as a little in the saints. They are not. They have big money behind them. And who has the big money nowadays, other than tech bros, especially AI bros? At least the people making the creative decisions, they are actually understanding filmmaking. That's the bare minimum, and the big studios can't even meet it anymore. The giant ones, the big six, the BBC, whoever runs the machine in your country, it's the same story. They want super safe content because the suits come from tech, not film. This is where I start to feel disappointed and angry and tired. Because I have seen it happen so many times. I have seen talented writers, real writers, people who love stories, people who have been writing since they were kids, people who have notebooks full of ideas, people who have folders of scripts, people who came from different countries, who gets a chance at this, at making their dreams come true. People who have been rejected 100 times and keep going. And I have seen them all fail. I have seen them give up. I have seen them take jobs they hate to pay the bills just to survive. And I have seen other people's, the ones with connections, the right parents, the right school, the right friend, the right person, the ones who don't fail, they just get work. They just get the credit. They just get to say they are writers or directors or whatever on the backs of the people who actually do care, do work hard. I have seen writers get hired for major adaptations who had never read the source material. Never. And when they were called out, they shrugged and said, "That's what the room is for. That's not, it's not it." And they are technically a writer on paper, on the credits. They're not real writers. Not in the way I mean, not in the way that matters. Because real writers struggle. Real writers doubt. Real writers revise and revise and revise and look back and look back and look back. Real writers put themselves out there. Real writers risk failure, risk rejection, risk being told they're not good enough, and then keep going anyway. These people, they don't have to do any of that. And the work is getting worse because of it. The flatness, the emptiness, the lack of human soul. You can feel it. I'm not saying every Nepo baby is relentless. I'm not saying that. That's not true. That's not fair. Some of them are talented. Some of them work hard. Some of them actually love the work. Some of them earn their place. But the system is the problem. It rewards connection over craft. It rewards taking over making, and it punishes people who speaking out, all in the name of short-term money making. Nepotism is here, and it's already been here for a decade. It's only been growing as the access to the industry becomes harder. Only nepotism can get you access to it. And the people who actually love the work, the people who would write even if nobody read it, the people who would draw even if nobody saw it, the people who would make even if nobody cared, they're out there. They're still making beautiful, meaningful things, but they will never see the light of day. And that's a tragedy, in my opinion. This system doesn't want them. This system wants safe. The system wants known, what is already known, already established. The system wants adaptation. The system wants what already works. And the people who could make something new, something different, something risky, they can't get in. They can't get a seat at the table because the table is full and the seats are reserved. They're empty, but every seat has a name on it reserved for someone. Maybe A24 and Neon are showing us a different way. It's flawed way. Maybe the indie spaces are the future. But the $1 billion backers, they don't come with nothing. So don't romanticize them too much, these big indie studios. But again, the $1 billion backers, these are like the devil. A contract with them doesn't just come in with nothing. There's always something with them. The only difference between them and a loan shark is that a loan shark will break your legs if you don't pay them. A $1 billion backer will pull your entire life work from under your feet and then give it to AI, make stuff of AI with it. So the real hope, in my opinion, is passion projects. The ones that are made with love. They might look cheap, but they're made with love. Well, people can be smart with them, but at least they are not made with spreadsheets. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Good luck to us as a human race. See you.